Okay, I hate to interrupt y'all two's little match. I heard Danny shout from nearby, but that's just about enough. We've got all the data we need to make everything work, and for Titan to have a good understanding of the way you behave, at least when you're off the motorcycle, the way you move and whatnot. Honestly, we probably could have called this whole thing about 15-20 minutes ago, but I decided to give you two a little bit more time, and extra data never hurt anyone. But now we're just wasting it. No, I shouted. No way this is over yet. I haven't even hit him one time, let alone have I beat him. Yeah, Jax, at this point, I hate to tell you, but if you haven't even hit him, the chances of you beating him are slim to none. At this point, if you could have hit him, you probably would have done it by now. And besides, beating him wasn't actually the point of this whole experiment or study, have you call it. It was just to collect data, and we got more than enough. So, let's call it quits. Where does the time go? The doctor announced. Well, it appears our little sparring session is over. Well, I suppose I have other things to attend to. But Jax, any time you want to go a few rounds, I'm more than open to the proposition. Perhaps you'll be able to land a hit next time. He said, laughing maniacally, as he waltzed off, cane in hand, back into the steel mill. I gripped my teeth as I watched him walk away, infuriated with myself. I couldn't even hit him once. I mean, really, where did he even learn to fight like that? I kind of feel ashamed of myself at this point. I just lost a fight to an old man with a cane. Humiliation doesn't begin to cover it. Hey Jax, come over here for just a minute. I need to talk to you about the data we collected. I sighed, beginning to put my nightstick away and walk over, as my collapsible baton pressed back in and I tucked it into its pouch, approaching Danny as he stood beside some computer equipment that he had hooked up to type, reading our little bout. Yeah, well, I was going over all the data here, and quite frankly, I really don't know what to make of any of it. I mean, sure enough, we got readings on everything. It's all clear as a bell. There's no distortion, misreading in anything. That's not the problem I'm dealing with. Right now, the problem I'm dealing with is the fact that the readings, well, they don't make sense. At least not for a human being. I mean, really, do you even realize how fast you were freaking moving? Look, I took the readings that we gathered from you and compared them to some basic readouts for the average human being, a person, which I have plenty of data on. Here's the problem. You were outpacing the average person, the average human being, by a freaking lot. I mean, seriously, the numbers aren't even close. Both in terms of reaction time and overall speed, you're probably 8, no, more like 10 times past the average human being. It just doesn't seem possible to react to anything that quickly. or move that fast, but somehow you were doing it. It didn't seem like you were having trouble with it either. And as much as that kind of freaks me out and bothers me, trust me, I sort of kind of get it. I mean, you went through that whole nanite procedure. You got tiny little robots in your brain, amping everything up, making everything run better, increasing your response times, the speed at which your brain's working. So, at least in that regard, even though it's still a little freaky, I at least get it. I understand. But something that still ain't clear, the part of this that's really freaking me out, is how the heck that guy, the doctor, was keeping up with you. It's clear that you were moving with speed and agility far beyond a normal human being. Even a trained martial artist with decades of experience would be hard-pressed to try to keep up. But that guy, the doctor, he didn't seem to have a problem with it at all. He was keeping pace with you like it was nothing. In fact, it actually kind of seemed like he had the edge on you, like he was barely trying. And that is disturbing me. I mean, really, where did you even dig that guy up? It's insane. Who is he? Well, the truth of the matter is, you don't really know, I replied. It seems like the more I learn about him, the more it only raises questions. To be honest, I'm just as in the dark on it as you are. I went to him looking for a programmer, and sorry to say, but it seemed like he was waiting for me. In fact, he took no effort at all to hide the fact that he was specifically waiting for me, knew me by name. The guy he had scouting for us had been given our general descriptions, told that we were the people that he was waiting for. Me and Emily, that is. In fact, it almost seems like he knows just way too much about us. And more specifically, me. The bastard talks like he knows me. But before I met him, just a short while ago, I didn't even know he existed. Never seen him before. I had never even heard of him before I started gathering up a team from Black Label races. And yet he acts like he has ample experience in dealing with me. He's even very good at reading my general personality, knows my characteristics. To be honest, it sort of freaks me out. And then there's this shadowy figure, the one that called themselves the Believer, in the note that they left in that little nanite process. Both their intentions are, well, completely unknown. Surely the intentions of both the shadowy figure and the doctor seem to support being beneficial to me, at least at the moment. But that doesn't stop it from being downright eerie and off-putting in a number of ways. In fact, besides calling him the doctor, I don't even know that guy's name. Even when I asked him for it, he just told me to call him whatever he wants. Excuse me, whatever I want. Meaning he doesn't care what he's called. I'm getting the feeling that he's the type of individual who keeps his own personal information very close to the chest. And I'm talking about even the tiniest details. It's all an enigma, just a big question mark. No answers. And the more I learn about him, the more questions I get. Even if I asked him how he learned to fight, I doubt he'd actually tell me, much less how he was able to keep up with me. Especially if I was moving as fast and reacting as quickly as you say. I mean, I was always tough and experienced when it came to fighting, but by the sound of it, Those nanites pushed it to a new level, an inhuman level, one that no normal human being should have been able to keep up with. And yet, he seemed to have no problem with it at all.